All right, everybody, welcome to another exciting week here at the Doe and 5-0 show. Joe, ready?
It's an exciting week.
It's an exciting week.
I didn't know. Hey, we're closer. Are you afraid?
Yeah, we got some feedback that the camera should be closer, so if this scares the crap out of you, I'm sorry.
It's only because they didn't get a good look at us.
Yeah.
The next feedback's going to be, you need to
You're going to want some like closed-circuit TV stuff with the camera way up in the corner, black and white.
If you could not be in the picture.
All right, let's go ahead and get things rolling for this week in news, guys. You ready? Let's go. All right, this week in news, Joe, we're going to kick things off with a Western couple who traveled to the Middle East to prove it just gets a bad rap. Well, guess what? They ended up in an Iranian prison. A blogger couple who traveled from Australia to Asia and the Middle East in an attempt to break the stigma surrounding developing countries was reportedly arrested in Iran. The duo were recently identified as Jolie King and Mark Firkin, according to the BBC report. The couple was arrested 10 weeks ago near Tehran, and it wasn't until Wednesday that the news became publicly known.
Oh.
In 2017, they planned to leave Australia and drive from Asia to London. Along the way, the pair shared videos documenting the trip with their thousands of followers on their social media accounts. Their posts on Instagram and YouTube are full of stunning landscapes, beaches, and lush waterfalls that look ripped right out of a luxury catalog. A far cry from the reality that many associate the less developed of the areas of the world with. Their biggest motivation is to hopefully inspire anyone wanting to travel and also try to break the stigma around traveling to countries that get a bad rap in the media. This goes on for a little bit, but basically they got picked up for flying a drone without a permit back in July, Joe. And they've been locked up in a Iranian prison ever since for flying a drone without a permit.
So did they think it was like a spy drone or something?
I don't know. Well, you never know over there. They could have thought it was a military drone or who knows. So they've been locked up ever since.
Are they going to get out?
Their status is still unknown at this point in time.
Wow.
It's just, it's unfortunate for them, but they, again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. They go to the Middle East thinking they're going to show off for their bazillions of followers on their social media accounts, and they get locked up for flying a drone.
They weren't trying to say that politically they were all okay. They're just trying to say it's really pretty out there, right?
No, they're trying to say that all these foreign countries get a
bad rap for their policies.
For their policies and procedures, and now they're victims of that.
So I wonder what they're going to come out and say. If you're going to
go
into another country.
A source told the BBC that the king was told Iran is holding them as part of a potential prisoner exchange with someone in Australia. So basically, they're being held captive for somebody that's being held in Australia for something else.
So they were kidnapped, basically, by the government.
Yeah, for flying a drone.
They came up with a trumped-up charge to, wow.
So, hey, I hope it's beautiful in prison there for you folks. I hope it's beautiful.
I can't even imagine how terrible that prison is. Wow.
I'm guessing
I told you I was in jail before, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very, very wonderful part of my life.
Sketchy pass. Montana woman uses a hairdryer to stop speeders in a viral photo, Joe.
I get it because it looks like a hairdryer. That's awesome.
Out of Polson, Montana, a grandmother in Montana is now an honorary state trooper after taking matters into her own hands to keep her grandkids safe. Patty Bumgardner wanted drivers in her neighborhood to slow down, so she took matters into her own hands with her hairdryer. We were talking about maybe something that would slow the cars down, so we decided to put me in a chair and I guess use the hairdryer as a speed thing, she said.
A speed thing?
A speed thing.
That's the technical term.
I'm helping to keep Finley Point safe. Slow down. Speed check by radar, Bumgardner wrote on Facebook. Bumgardner's photo has since gone viral, and it caught the attention of a trooper, Noah Pesola, who found Bumgardner and awarded her with a campaign hat and a sticker badge. I thought it was hilarious. I think we have a speed issue in Montana, and I thought it was a great creative idea for the public to try and combat that a little bit without making people too upset. According to K-Pax, Bumgardner said she can tell if her white hair dryer really slowed cars down, but she plans to use it again to bring awareness to speeding cars in the neighborhood. So she just hang out there with a little drink, her red Solo cup in her hand, and her hairdryer in the other.
Hey, if it worked.
If it works, it works, right?
And she's not doing anything bad. It's just making people slow down a little bit. I like that story.
It would definitely get your attention, that's for sure. This video is pretty funny, Joe. We'll put it up there for everybody to see. But man discovers who's been using his son's training toilet is actually the family's dog. The joys of parenthood usually come with woos of potty training.
Ooh.
For many parents who teaching their children to potty train is either quick and easy or it requires quite a bit of time and work. They read a lot of numerous videos and books, and I think my mom used to put like a target in the toilet or something for me to pee into the toilet when I was little.
Is it like a Notre Dame symbol or something? iPhone symbol?
iPhones didn't exist back then.
That was a long time ago.
We'll put the video up there. You can see the dog kind of lurking around the toilet. He's going to eventually pop a squat here into his business. But basically, the dad had got home from work at 5 a.m. and noticed poop in his son's training toilet, and he thought, that's weird. How did my wife not see that and empty it out? Like most modern mysteries, he knew the best way to solve it was to check his home security camera, and then that's what he found. He sees the dog circling around the toilet, popping a squat, and kerplunk right there into the kid's potty toilet.
I think that's great.
I wish I could teach my dog to do that.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Now, that's the thing. He said he's never taught his dog to do that, so he's not sure how long he's been going about doing that. Off he goes. Oh, pretty great.
I think that's great. Oh, you know what? We say that'd be great, but who's going to clean that up every time?
Yeah, but if cold, maybe if it's in winter time, you don't want to let the dog out. Sometimes the dogs don't want to go out. Just plunk right there in the toilet.
Yeah.
I mean, you're crafty. You came up with those elaborate things for your cats. You could come up with something for the dog. Solid gold toilet was stolen from the birthplace of Winston Churchill. Check out that throne there, Joe.
Someone stole that.
Somebody stole that.
You don't just pick it up.
Well, police are trying to recover a toilet made entirely from 18-karat gold that was stolen Saturday morning from Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire, England, the stately home where former Prime Minister Winston Churchill was born. The fully functioning toilet was installed as part of an exhibit by Italian artist Buttafuoco, titled
Eddie.
titled "Victory is Not an Option," which only opened to the public last Thursday.
Wait, the toilet?
Yeah. The palace will be closed for the rest of the day, as a spokesperson said on Twitter. According to the palace spokesperson, Buttafuoco values the toilet, titled America, at over $5 million.
Wow, there's a little zinger, isn't there? I admire the humor, though.
So apparently he thinks America is a shitter worth $5 million.
I doubt he thinks it's worth $5 million.
That's what he valued it at.
Yeah, but he thinks we're a shitter. That's the point. So it's fully functioning. Gold is a very soft metal, and I can't imagine that it's fully functioning, but people were using it? Nobody was using it.
No, it was just for display, I believe.
Well, then why was it fully functioning? They didn't have it hooked up.
I don't know.
Dumbasses.
No suspects at this time. $5 million carat gold toilet is.
And apparently nobody bothered watching it. There is no cameras.
How do you sneak out with a big old gold toilet?
There wasn't water hooked up to it. Somebody just did pick it up. But how... You got a $5 million toilet, nobody's watching it. Yeah. I guard my coffee cups.
All right.
The toilet was probably cleaner, though.
Yeah, probably. There's no doubt about that. CDC issues a warning, Joe, not to snuggle or kiss chickens due to salmonella outbreak.
Damn it.
Center for Disease Control and Prevention have issued a warning in regard to backyard poultry after a spike in salmonella infections are on the rise. A total of 1,003 people have been infected with the outbreak strain of salmonella in 2019.
Were they all snuggling and kissing chickens?
Why would they put that warning out there?
I don't know.
Unless somebody had actually done it. 2 deaths have been reported here in the United States.
If you're snuggling and cuddling chickens, you should get that.
Full state-by-state map of the outbreaks linked to the backyard poultry can be found on the CDC website. Through its investigation, the CDC has reported that the primary source of the sickness was through the contact through backyard poultry, such as chicken and ducklings. Some advice issued by the center is do not kiss backyard poultry or snuggle them, and then touch your face and mouth. Who kisses chickens?
I don't know.
I may have kissed some KFC chicken legs every once in a while.
I would love. It has a state by state. I would love to see which states have the most.
Don't let your backyard poultry inside the house.
Or so are they pets? No, because they went to eating them. Then,
yeah.
Can you get salmonella from kissing a chicken?
Apparently, because it says you can't. You don't kiss them or hug them or snuggle them. I mean, they wouldn't give this warning unless somebody has reported this. They probably showed up to an emergency room somewhere while I was making out with my chicken.
All right, no making out with your chicken.
No making out with the chicken. You can't fix stupid. If you're gonna angry jaywalker smashes into a pole while staring at a driver, Joe. This video is pretty funny too. So basically, this cat here, we'll put the video up for everybody to see. This is a lesson that an Ontario jaywalker learned this summer after his defiance of the Canadian province's road crossing laws came crashing down in a somewhat embarrassing fashion. The clip from, this was happened in June, was recently released by RR and BD Driving School. RR and BD Driving School.
I don't want to know.
As a part of a cautionary compilation showing dangerous driving. So here's the video here. You can see the guy staring down somebody. Oh! So basically, that guy was jaywalking, the American version of jaywalking,
right?
And the car was just doing it had the right of way.
He was kind of looking at him like he's daring them to do something about it.
I dare you to run me over!
And he runs
face plants right into that pole.
And now he's famous.
Yeah, way to go, jackass.
Well,
I've seen stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but people are so obsessed with their. He's not looking at his phone or anything, but. People, they become so obsessed with their electronical devices.
Oh, yeah, I've seen. Well, I bet you see that a lot.
Yeah.
And it is hard. I mean, even driving, I keep my phone down, but it'll light up or something. It's hard. It's really hard not to. I actually started putting it in the glove box.
Yeah.
Because I'm too distracted by it.
I've seen people run into doors and trip over. Have you seen the video? It's been around for a long time where some lady looks like she's in a mall or something, and she's staring at her phone, and she trips and face plants into one of those fountains they have in the middle of the mall.
Oh, we need to get that on the show. I can't believe it's not on here.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I'd really like to.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up and show it to you. It's pretty funny. Cell phone video. This is out of Nashville, Tennessee. Cell phone video shows a man blowing kisses at a passing driver, appearing to do pull-ups on top of a moving car. The man was identified in court documents as Ronnie Sellers following his arrest on September 5th for disorderly conduct. According to arrest report, the charge stemmed from we'll put the video up there. There's the genius right there.
Oh, wow.
Look at that idiot.
Oh, he's
having a good time.
He is having fun.
Wow. The charges stem from the afternoon of August 29th when pictures circulated on social media showing the 31-year-old hanging onto the roof of a car while the driver traveled all over the area, including along Interstate 40 from Wilson County to Nashville. It was a birthday party and a celebration. I was riding in a parade, my own little parade, Sellers told the News 2. I shouldn't have been charged for riding on top of a car because they don't charge people when they're having parades. He's a certified genius.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how official that parade was, but...
Sellers said the driver of the car was his wife, Amanda Miller. The 32-year-old woman was arrested on Monday on charges of reckless endangerment and driving on a suspended license. So two geniuses.
Yes.
So they celebrated their birthday together in jail. Look at that. There's the beautiful couple there.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week in news, folks.
I enjoy stories like that because it makes me feel smarter.
Doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't.
All right, guys. It's time for This Week in Florida.
Florida. We love Florida. In Florida, a young girl is fuming because her parents treat her so darn hard. She hires hitmen $1,500 using her parents' stolen debit card. What the hell is with Florida, where all crazy shit seems to come from? A week won't pass by without lots of stories proving that Florida's dumb.
All right, everybody, welcome to another fabulous week in Florida. Joe, we're camping out at my favorite seafood place in Panama City Beach, Sharky's. You ever been?
No, I don't like seafood.
Or Florida?
Or Florida. I love Florida.
I went there for the first time 3 or 4 years ago. This place, somebody had told me about Sharky's, and I've never been to Panama City Beach in my life. I've had a bazillion friends that like to go there for spring break.
You have friends?
Well, I used to.
Oh.
But
how much did that cost you?
But they do. If you like seafood, I'd highly recommend Sharky's, man. They got some good stuff there. Gonna start out of Pasco County, Florida, Joe. Deputies arrived at a Pasco County home this week to find teeth marks in a man's arm and what was left behind of a light bulb scattered on the floor. The man told him that he had been in a verbal spat on Monday with Kimberly Ruth Mann, but things got violent after she picked up her broomstick. First, she poked him with it. Then the man said he grabbed her broomstick, but Mann wasn't going to let him have it. Or he grabbed her broomstick, and she wasn't going to let him have it. Instead, she allegedly sank her teeth into his arm. Then she grabbed a light bulb and shattered it on him. Authorities say Mann claimed her actions were in self-defense. Even so, they considered the red and purple mark on the victim's arm to be consistent with his version of the events. Deputies then arrested the 32-year-old female. She now faces a domestic battery charge and is being held at the Land O'Lakes jail.
Isn't that a butter or something?
It is good butter. I don't know. I mean, I guess you put a witch's hat on there and a nose, she'd make a pretty good witch.
I guess, they don't say what the altercation was about.
Yeah.
Otherwise, other than he took her transportation.
Well, here we go. Short week in Florida. This is what inspired the song this week. Florida girl stole her parents' debit card to pay hitmen to kill her parents.
How stupid.
17-year-old Florida girl has been arrested after stealing her parents' debit card and then using it to pay two people to kill them. Alyssa Michelle Hatcher was arrested on Monday, September 9th by the Umatilla Police Department. The Umatilla High School student has since been charged with 2 counts of criminal solicitation for murder and 1 count of theft, according to the Lake County Sheriff's Office. The plan began to unfold after an undisclosed juvenile witness contacted the Sheriff's Department to let them know that Hatcher had given a friend a lot of money to find someone to kill her parents. An investigation soon found that the teenager had stolen her parents' debit card and used it to complete 2 transactions, one for $503 and another for $926.40, with both payments being given to 2 different individuals, according to the arrest affidavit. According to the public relations officer of the Sheriff's Department, according to investigators, the juvenile suspect stole her parents' debit card and made 2 separate transactions, withdrawing funds to pay for the individuals to carry out the murder. The juvenile suspect was placed in custody and transported to the Lake County Jail, where she was processed and turned over to the Department of Juvenile Justice. As reported by Fox 35, Detective D. Casey had gotten into contact with Hatcher's boyfriend to try and get to the bottom of the sinister plot. The boyfriend told the detective that Hatcher was last seen on Monday morning the 9th at a known drug house. Allegedly, she said this is where she wanted her parents to be killed. There was no dispute over the claims. In a recorded interview, Hatcher admitted the whole thing, saying she had stolen the card and made the 2 transactions. She did go into further detail, however. Hatcher added that $100 of the first transaction was used to buy cocaine, while another $400 was given to the second witness. The witness was then to find someone to kill her parents for her. After the first person to fail to carry out the murder, Hatcher said she gave an additional $900 to a black male to complete her bidding. According to Sergeant Jones, he told Fox 35, "This is a sad case when you think about the family dynamics and everything."
Well, yeah, that's pretty sad.
Whether it was going to take place or not, the money did exchange hands, and we were glad to be able to stop what could have happened. When it comes to something like that, I cannot imagine the shock you would be in as a parent, knowing that this is my daughter and what she intended to do. According to the arrest affidavit, Hatcher's parents are pursuing charges against her.
Well, yeah. I mean, let her go free so she can try it again. Irony that they would have been paying for their own murder.
Like, life must have been so totally rough and brutal that
yes,
they wouldn't even give her the money up front to assassinate them. So she had to go into mom's purse and steal it so she can make transactions and off my mom and dad. I can't even.
You did that way too well. So she bought. Why would she buy cocaine? Because in Florida, you can just go to the beach and pick some up, can't you?
I mean, last week it was just washing up onto the shore.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of dollars worth. I don't understand that, but so she stole the credit or debit card so she had to go and. I don't know I've never used a debit card. But they didn't have something swiping on their phones, I'm taking it. So she had to go get the money from a bank or an ATM.
Yeah.
And then she gave them the money. And that was just to find somebody. She was very generous with her parents' money.
Yeah. It was nice of her.
Wow. Have you been, Lee and I were kind of talking about this earlier. I've been mad at my parents before. I got grounded all the time. And completely undeserved.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I may add. But I never wish that they were dead.
We're kind of getting away from the humor that is Florida, but this just goes to show on the continuing issues that I'm seeing, in my line of work of how insanely disrespectful the younger generation can be.
Well, she's got a drug problem, so
Right.
I mean that's
but I mean,
part of it. But
the amount of entitlement that a lot of the younger people growing up today, where they feel like everything should just be handed to them on a silver platter, and if they don't get their way, you see nonsense like this. I mean, holy cow!
But
you know,
once again, whose fault is that? We've talked about this before too. I think it's us as parents. Is that what we've done? Have we given them that feeling that they should be able to get everything they want? Are we the ones buying them all the clothes that they want? Are we the ones buying them
I know,
a TV in their room and the best phones and stuff like that?
And to an extent, maybe, but at the same time, and I'm not saying you should hand your kids everything on a silver platter, because I don't agree with that at all. I think they need to be able to work and be responsible and everything else. But at the same time, even if you do provide things for your kids, which my kids don't really want for much of anything. It's not easy with that many of them.
No, not with thousands.
We don't. They're not deprived by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But you can still provide nice things for your kids, and they can still have. I mean, you can take my oldest for instance. He's got one hell of a work ethic especially for his age.
Yes, he does.
And he's always had, like you said, the nicer phones ever since he's been a kid.
But he's always worked for him.
And once he graduated, he started paying for his own.
Right.
But he's just always had that work ethic and stuff, and hopefully the other kids will catch on to that. But they don't have, none of them have a real big sense of entitlement, like crap like that.
Well, she does.
God only knows what she was told.
But we're also in a different area.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Midwest is probably just better. But yeah, there's and my kids the same way. My kids had nice stuff, but they all had to work. And I was very fortunate having the bakery. Mm-hmm. They could come over and they could work, and they could, if you do this and this and this, this is how much I pay for it. I'll give you half. The other half goes towards whatever it is that you want. It's,
it's just sad. It's you see things like this, and obviously these people. We don't know the whole story of why she wanted to offer parents, but I guess I would just assume that she probably has been told no once or twice and didn't care for it. And life's just too hard.
I thought it was funny. She said she was at a drug house where she was hoping to have her parents killed. Yeah. Do her parents frequent this drug house too?
They probably yank her ass out of there.
That could
I don't know. So, all right. Well, that's all we got for this week in Florida. Joe's talked me into a skit, so here we go. You're welcome, or I'm sorry.
It's funny. Have a drink.
All right. Here we go.
And then watch the skit.
Here's the skit. Here we go. Good stuff. It's good stuff. Man, that Lee's funny. I need to get him some help down there. That other guy, he's not very good. That Lee, he's a funny guy. Funny guy.
Who are you? I made it? I'm in heaven? This is great. You like doing 5-0.
I like the 5-0.
Oh.
Did you bring donuts?
Well, I didn't know I was going to die. I was just working and all.
I've seen what you eat for breakfast. How did you not know you would die sooner rather than later?
I didn't think you'd really want to see me.
No donuts?
No. Can I make some here or? Shit. Oh. That was a weird dream.
All right, folks, welcome to This Week in Political Garbage. Going to one of our other favorite places to go, Joe.
California.
California. Headline reads, California governor signs a law outlawing suspending students for unruly behavior. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed Senate Bill 419 into law on Monday. Out of Sacramento, California, California students who disrupt their classrooms can no longer be suspended for their unruly behavior, thanks to the new law signed by Governor Newsom, endorsed on Monday. Senate Bill 419, which will go into effect on July 1st, 2020, will make it permanently illegal for charter and public schools alike to suspend defiant and disruptive 4th and 5th grade students. The new law will also apply to students in grades 6 through 8 for a period of 5 years. The state already had a law on the books banning schools from suspending children from kindergarten through 3rd grade. The legislation referred to such behaviors as willful defiance. School administrators have also been tasked with establishing age-appropriate alternatives to suspension that are designed to address and correct the pupil's specific behavior. Senator Nancy Skinner, who sponsored the legislation, touted it as to be one of the best ways to disrupt the school-to-prison pipeline. The Sacramento Bee reported SB 419 puts the kids first and keeps kids in school where they belong and where teachers and counselors can help them thrive. Students throughout the state missed over 150,000 days of class during the 2016-2017 academic year due to their unruly behavior. Man. Under this highly subjective category, students are sent to an empty home with no supervision and denied valuable instructional time for anything from failing to turn in homework to not paying attention or refusing to follow directions, taking off a coat or a hat, or swearing in class. Proponents of the bill said that such legislation was necessary because minority students have been suspended for disruptive behavior for more frequently than white students. I strongly believe that SB 419 will bring justice to California youth by eliminating suspensions for disruption of defiance, putting an end to discriminatory discipline policies, and institute corrective justice practices. So this goes on for a little bit longer, but basically, you can act like a jackass and it'll be okay in California.
I'm mad. That's stupid. None of these people obviously have taught school or actually been in a school. That one student in a classroom of 25 kids makes it so nobody can learn anything.
Right.
So do I want them sent home to an empty house where they're just going to wreak more havoc? No, but there needs to be a place that they can go and out of that classroom so that teachers can still teach.
You know, and I agree, and my kids have all come home over the course of their scholastic careers. Well, little Johnny was being a little jerk in class today, and I'm not so sure at like an elementary school age or even they probably don't have like here in Indiana, most schools have what they call like an in-school suspension. So if you're kind of acting like a turd, and as opposed to sending them home to an empty house when mom and dad might be at work or whatever, they all go to this classroom in the building or maybe there's alternative learning done in there to where they're away from the rest of the student body.
Right.
They definitely have that in middle school all the way through high school. And
you have to have that. You have to, but you can't leave them in the classroom. Right. You can't.
So how's that fair to the kids that are there behaving
to actually learn,
and
right?
Learning, and especially when you're younger.
And how did they make it into a race thing?
Everything
has to be a race thing.
Race.
I want to be in a classroom. Why can they videotape in a classroom?
I don't know.
They should be able to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at all that a month or two ago. Technically, there's not cameras in there, but there's cameras everywhere because everybody's got a freaking cell phone or a tablet and they're recording everything that happens. But this is nuts to me. First of all, I mean, California is a huge state. Don't get me wrong, but 150,000 days during one academic school year missed from suspensions.
And that's just California, or is that nationwide?
That was throughout the state of California. 150,000 days during the 2016-17 academic year. Man,
and if they get kicked out of school now, I don't know if everyone's aware of. Schools are judged by their graduation rates and all this other stuff, and if the government if you don't have a certain percentage graduation rate, they take funding away, where it should be the other way around, where they add more funding. So if they're suspending a student knowing that they're going to lose funding, that kid's bad. There needs to be something done.
And going back to what you're saying about the they're making it about the white kids versus the minority kids or whatever.
They had to make it race.
Especially in California, I would like to see the numbers of these schools that they're pulling this from, because, it's saying that the proponents of the bill said such legislation was necessary because minority students have been suspended for disruptive behavior more frequently than the white students. So, does the Hispanic students and the black students and the Asian students, hell, they might they might outnumber the white kids in a lot of these buildings, depending on where they are.
We're only going to get the information that they want us to get.
So
we don't know all the facts one way or the other, and it's like that with everything.
And again, it's completely irrelevant whether you're black, white, orange, green.
It shouldn't matter at all. Why did they make it into a race thing?
Yeah, it's just a way to fit their narrative. But if I was a parent and I knew some kid was being a little jackass and then disrupting the classroom all the time and was making it hard for my kid to learn, I'd be raising all kinds of hell in the school building until I got what I wanted out of it.
But you have no rights.
Yeah.
As somebody following all the rules, you have no rights.
Right.
Just only if you don't follow the rules.
So, yeah, these kids, they get to be jerks and cause problems, and they get to stay in school whether they want to be there or not. And
it's no wonder California is doing so well economically.
Economically, they're fantastic.
Dumbasses.
So. Well, there you have it. We Joe and I don't agree with this bill 419 or whatever it is.
That's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah. California, you're stupid.
We're gonna have a song about California. That'll teach you.
Yeah.
Well, they'll say that'll learn you because they don't have anybody in school anymore.
That's true. All right, well, that's it for this week's show. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Bye. Have them all lined up now against the wall. Mm-hmm. Isn't that pretty?
Your camera could be better.
Well, it's an Android.
You ready to roll?
Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
All right, guys, it's time for This Week in Florida.
Florida! We love Florida. Except for the song.
The song blows.
I like the song. Lee doesn't like the song. And we always mess it up the first few times.
He messes that up because he sings it.
Hee-haw. She hires hitmen using... I don't know what the hell I'm singing. Da-da-da-da. Card. In Florida, a young girl is fuming because her parents treat her so darn hard. She hires hitmen $1,500 using her parents' stolen debit card. Such a shame it was going so well. What the hell is with Florida? Proving that Florida's dumb. Screw it. We're just gonna use it, alright. Bow, 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 bow. She sure was pretty. She had the most years.
I'm still worried about how close.
Because we ugly?
Yeah.
Oh, well. People that know us already know that.
Yeah.
Why do our wives stay with us?
Blake's ridiculous.
It's not our charming personalities.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. Hey, Lee. Somebody tagged me this. I forgot to tell you about it. It said there should be a zoo of drunk white people doing stupid shit. And somebody answered it. It's called Florida.
Only in Florida can you bully a Cat 5 hurricane with memes enough to make it run away. Florida people are a special breed.
I'm so angry. That is just, and other states are going, well, that's what California's doing, so we're going to do it too.
So you want that playing?
Your name tag's right there, so I think it.
It's just like when I'm trying to put one of these on at home. I don't know which way it goes on.
You do this often? I don't know where it is.
Oh, it's on the ground.
All right, God.
See, my nose is itchy, man. I know that's what you're covering the table with cat hair.
No, this is the. Here's the whole thing.